Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to LinkedIn Tuesdays. It's January 9th, 2024. Please note this event is being recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. For those people on Zoom, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just enter them into the chat box. For those watching on Facebook, thank you for joining us. Please, any questions you've got, put those in the comment field. We're monitoring both feeds. We will get your questions answered for you as we go through today's presentation. Also, this is all about LinkedIn. I recommend for those people that are on the Zoom call, go ahead and enter in your name, position you're looking for, put in your LinkedIn address, connect with everybody else who's on the call today. Here's a great way to expand your connections. So, and just as you connect with people, just let them know, I saw you here today on LinkedIn Tuesday or something, just so you can send that personal note. So I just want to let people know, use that, put your information in the chat window, connect with everybody else who's on the call. Great way to expand your connections. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Back in 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those who are unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched a second website, careerusa.org, to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon. If you see me in person, I always have copies with me. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. We've got a really interesting topic coming up this Friday. We'll tell you about that at the end of this session. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, also known as the PIC Crew. Remember this, your LinkedIn profile, your resume, they're not going to get you a job. What they will get you is a phone call. How well you practice your interviewing skills, that's what's going to get you your next job. So for more information, just go to dallaspickaroo.com and you can find out how to sign up for a totally free practice interview at your convenience. All right, well, we've got 4 great speakers who talk about LinkedIn. These 4 people will starting next week. So today you get to listen to me talk about LinkedIn, present yourself like a pro. So let me switch a couple things here so I can get to everything. So here's today's presentation. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I like to talk about this early, just so you understand who may be calling you and just a little basic stuff about the 3 different kinds of recruiters. There are 3 types of recruiters. There's an in-house recruiter, the person who's working for a company. There's an outside contingency recruiting firm like Babbage and Associates, or most of the recruiting firms that you'll probably be contacted by. And then the third thing is an outside retained search consultant. And I'll talk about each one here in just a second. So an in-house recruiter works for a company. Let's say they're working for AT&T. They may be responsible for hiring technicians in the Northeast. Somebody else may be hiring technicians in the Southeast, and somebody else may be hiring accounting people at corporate, and a fourth recruiter is handling, specialty thing. And they could be handling 30, 40, or 50 jobs at a time. They are very, very busy. They usually rely on the applicant tracking system for you to apply online and then whatever comes up. That's why it's very, very important that you network in to those companies that you're interested in. If it's a big giant company, if it's a smaller in-house recruiting firm, they only have 1 or 2 recruiters, you've got a better chance of connecting with somebody. An outside contingency recruiting firm, what happens is if they can't find somebody internally, they will go put the job description out, and they may hire 3, 4, or 5 different recruiting firms, and they're going to tell them, well, you only get paid if we hire your candidate. So you've got to be very careful as a job seeker that if you get multiple calls and it sounds like it could be the same position, you've really got to vet who it is, because you do not want your application coming in from 2 different employment firms. Some companies, they timestamp everything, so whichever resume came across first from the recruiting firm, that's the one who gets paid. But sometimes when they see the same people twice, they'll just cancel both of you out, and they'll cancel the person out because they don't want to take any, they don't want any hassle going, well, I submitted you, you submitted me, and how all that works. So just be careful. Only the firm that places the person will actually get paid. The third type of recruiter is an outside retained search consultant. This is one person hiring, the company's hired one person to go find this person. Usually these would be executives, managers and above, C-suite, and maybe high-level directors and stuff like that for positions, but it could be a little bit lower too, depending on the relationship. They tend to have a very good relationship with the company because they want to place the best candidate. They want to find the right candidate for the right company, and they're going to coach you, and they're going to help you about telling you what it is the company needs. They usually get paid an upfront fee, and then they get paid the balance upon placement. So it's really, really important that when you get that phone call, that you ask them, what can you tell me, what kind of recruiter are you? Do you work in-house? Or are you a contingency recruiter or an outside retained search consultant? And they should be able to tell you that. If they don't tell you that, it's the first question you ask. If they don't tell you that, they're probably being pretty shady. There's a lot more information about different kinds of recruiters on the career USA.org website. If you go to the career files, you can click on recruiters, and there's a good explanation about who they are and some questions that you probably should ask recruiters. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about the tip of the iceberg. We could go hours and hours and hours with all the details of all the little things you can be doing. Also, LinkedIn is constantly changing. What worked yesterday may not work today. So that's why I don't tend to show a lot of stuff live on LinkedIn, because I take screenshots because I know it's going to be there, because sometimes if I look tomorrow, it may not be there. So LinkedIn is constantly changing, constantly evolving, and just, to let you know. Okay, so LinkedIn growth. Now this chart's 2 years old now, but when I joined LinkedIn back in 2009, there were 37 million people. Okay, it wasn't a lot. Now there's close to 1 billion people on LinkedIn. They estimate in the United States there's about 180 or 190 million people. That's 2/3 of the population. Now 2/3 of the population doesn't use LinkedIn on a basis. They may have started a profile and never completed it. They don't use it actively, but LinkedIn has become where job seekers should go, where to go to connect with other people. So what's the goal on LinkedIn? The goal on LinkedIn is to set up a profile for recruiters that, number one, is easy to read. Number two, has your picture on it. We'll talk more about picture later. Has a background, makes it inviting, and possibly maybe a little bit of personal information. The second thing you want to do is you've got to optimize your profile so the search engine will find you. LinkedIn calculates your score on a daily basis. They don't tell us how it's done. There have been studies done. There's a group out of the European Union that's conducted this extensive study. They went in, they changed things every day to see how it would affect profiles, and they've sort of come up with, here's what we think are the most important things. Your score is definitely based on content, having a complete profile, and activity. If you're not active on LinkedIn, you're not going to show up as high as other people on LinkedIn. You can't see your score, so you're never going to figure out where you are, where you fit at. And they won't tell us how that works, but people have sort of come up with, well, if you do this, you tend to move up a little bit higher. And we'll talk about those things that make you move up higher on LinkedIn. What the search engine is looking for is a mutual interest between you and the recruiter. Okay. Number one, are you likely to respond? Are you getting messages and just not replying to them? LinkedIn keeps track of that. You always want to reply to any recruiter that reaches out to you, even if you just say, no, thanks, or do you mind if I pass this along to somebody else I know? They want to know if you're connected to any companies, any employees inside the company. So if this was an AT&T recruiter and they're using the full-blown recruiting package that LinkedIn offers, they'll see when you pop up, do you have connections with other people who work in the company out of all your connections? Do you follow the company on LinkedIn? You really need to do this. This is very, very important because once again, when a recruiter uses the LinkedIn recruiting package, when they call up a screen, they call up and they do a search, one of the options they have right across the very top is people who are open to work, people who are more likely to respond, and people who follow the company. So if there was 100 people came up in their search and 22 people follow the company, most recruiters will look at those 22 people first because they know that they already know what this company does. And if they don't find what they're looking for, then they'll broaden out their search and look at the other 78 people. And then are you open to work? Very, very important to put that on there. We'll talk about the open to work banner and that in just a second. The other thing the search engine looks for is relevant to the job being searched. Do you have the same job? Does the same job title appear on your profile as what they put in? Do you have the key skills that they're looking for? And have you passed the skill assessment test? Now, that last point no longer exists. They deleted the skill assessment test about a month and a half ago. So I will have to go and delete that off this slide. I thought I deleted it someplace else. So what does it take to be an all-star? What do you need to have a complete profile? Number one, you've got to have a current position, okay? I don't have a current position. I'm unemployed right now. What I recommend you do is you put in a job title. You create a position. You put it in from when you left your last job to present. You put in 1 or 2 or 3 job titles that you would be interested in. You pull these job titles from LinkedIn. You want to use the default LinkedIn job titles. You could be the chief people person at a company, but chief people person isn't a job title that LinkedIn recognizes. They recognize director of talent acquisition, director of human resources. So you want to make sure that you're using a job title that LinkedIn recommends. You need to have a location. You've got to tell people where it is you're based at or where you're interested in. I'll talk more about that in just a second. What industry are you in? Do you have a summary statement, which is the about statement about who you are? We'll talk more about that. You've got to pick at least 5 skills. You should have 45 to 50. We'll talk more about that. You do need to list an education. Even if you didn't complete, if you went to a university and you didn't complete the university, put in that you accumulated X number of hours, or you expect to graduate in May of 2024. Put that kind of information in. And then, like I said, you've got to have a headshot. If you don't have a headshot, people wonder, what are you trying to hide here? All right, so how do we maximize the title? You've got to use the titles that LinkedIn has standardized, okay? So if you open up the open to work section and you start typing in job titles, those will pop up. So what I recommend on your profile, for example, my first job I had out of college, and this is back in the 1980s. First job I had out of college, I was called an electronic AV Tech 1. What does that mean? That's something that the University of Louisville associated with a job. That's not something that I could be applying for as a job. What was my role? I was a videographer and a video editor. That's what I would put down. So I list on my profile, electronic AV Tech 1, and then in parentheses, video editor, videographer. So that way those would pop up. You can have multiple titles in the headline. You should list 3 or 4 of them probably. You can list open to work. You cannot list open to work. That's sort of up to you. And then for additional job titles, you'll put those into the experience section. So here's a great way to generate a title. I like that you start out with action verbs, okay? You're just not a production manager. You're an accomplished production manager. You're an experienced production manager. You're a flexible something. then list a couple job titles, and then what value do you bring? You know, you focus on a certain thing. If you're a program manager, focusing on, you know, DART buses. I mean, I don't know, transportation in the city or something. Put down what it is what specialization you have in your field. So an example here at the very last box is a dynamic program manager driving brand awareness through integrated marketing. Tell people who you are, what you can do. All right, so here's my profile. This is my branding headline. I put down that I'm an accomplished manufacturing manager, operation manager, general manager. I do things better, faster, and smarter, little saying. And then I'm a speaker at career workshops and seminars. Okay, so I've listed that, you know, that's what I've used. And those job titles, manufacturing manager, operation manager, general manager, those come from the open to work section when you start typing in job titles, what they are. You have 220 characters here. I recommend you can go 3 lines, whatever that is. Don't go 4 or 5. 3 lines sort of tends to be a maximum of the number of lines that people will read. I like using the pipe symbol that you see. That symbol, if you're trying to find it on your keyboard, is just above the enter key, and it's on the shift. So you have to hit shift and then the key right above the enter key, and you'll see that little up and down pipe symbol. I don't like using commas. I prefer the pipe symbol because if you use a comma, sometimes some systems will see manager comma, and if they don't type in manager with a comma, some search engines won't see that you're typing the exact same thing. So by using the pipe symbol, to me, that's the best way to do things. All right, so let's talk about your picture. Here's a bunch of pictures on here. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner. Great smile in the picture. Probably a really good picture, but you can't really see him because he's backlit. I mean, there's not enough lighting on his face. Okay, it's too bright in the background. The next guy over in the purple shirt, that's fine if you want to put that on your Facebook post, but that's really not a good picture for LinkedIn. You want a professional looking shot. The next shot over, this is the CEO of a company. She pulled this off of her company website. That's fine when on her bio page on the website, but on LinkedIn, I think it should just be like shoulders and up because you want to be able to see who it is. I'm not good with names. I'm good with faces. I can recognize faces and I go, oh, I've met you before. I don't remember where. Like today, I met somebody at a meeting and somebody I hadn't seen in probably 12 years, but I recognized his face and, you know, we started chit-chatting. Upper right-hand corner, that's Gail. Gail him or Gail her? How do you know? No husband-wife pictures, no significant other pictures, just picture of you. Lower right-hand corner, person's open to work. That's really great. Problem is, way too far away. He's posing on a chess piece, I think. I think that's a chessboard. He must be outdoor chess thing. Zoom in. I mean, like I said, get into like what you're seeing right here on my photo right now. The next lady over, open to work, great shot. The one thing you do want to be careful of when you put that open to work banner on is it covering part of your face, okay? But it's good smile. She's looking right at the camera, really great. The next 2 shots are sort of my favorite. I think the guy with the red tie is probably the best one of all. He's got a good smile. He's looking directly on you. His shoulders are turned in to the LinkedIn profile. Okay, the next one is black and white. Some people don't like black and white. I don't mind it. I think it looks fine, sort of artsy. But he's turned facing away. So think about it. Your photo is in the upper left-hand corner of your profile. And why would you want to be facing away from where all your information is? Okay, just a little thing that sort of bugs me. It's up to you to decide, you know, what you want to do. You can very easily, if you take a photo, just flip it. There's your photo editing should be able to flip the photo over so you're facing into your LinkedIn profile. All right, so let's talk about connections. It is recommended you have 501 connections. Why is that? Because what'll show up is that you're connected to 500 plus. You can be connected to 1,000 people, 2,000 people. When you look at my profile, I've got over 4,000 connections, but Mine just shows up 500 plus. So whatever you need to do, get to 501, and then you can slow down. But until that time, you want to work on building your connections. Very important. Who should you be connecting with? Connect with other people who do what you do, because they could be helpful. Connect with recruiters who work at targeted companies. If you want to work for AT&T, I'd be trying to connect with a bunch of recruiters at AT&T. Now, also try to connect with the managers, the recruiting managers of those departments. Because if there's a job posting and you're not sure who the recruiter is, if you connect with the recruiting manager, they'll push it down to the right spot. And then connect with people with titles that could denote that they're a hiring manager status with target companies. So if you're interested in AT&T and you want to be a program manager, go type in program manager AT&T, see who pops up. This guy looks, oh yeah, he's a supervisor, he's a manager, he's a director. Reach out to those people. Also, don't forget alumni, and who you can connect with alumni, with alumni. Okay, this is just amazing to me. When Kurt Vondermatter does his LinkedIn presentation, you have got to put in your contact information. He will find people. We'll do searches all over the country, not here in Dallas. We never do Dallas, but we do all these other communities. And when we do a search, here are these people that are open to work, but there's no contact information there. Only your first degree connections can see the information that's listed there. And that's your, when you open up contact information, that's a separate field. So that's why it's very, very important that you also put it in the about section, because anybody can see your about section, okay? So just be aware of that. We don't need your address. We don't need to know city, state's okay if you want. You don't have to put your birthday. I mean, all it does is it just generates a lot of emails around your birthday, but phone number and email address. A recruiter has one mission. They're trying to find somebody. They have very short attention spans. They're a little bit like squirrels. It doesn't take much to distract them. So as soon as they find, they go, oh, I like this profile. What do they want to do? They want to pick up the phone and call you. When they do call you, ask them, hey, thanks for calling. What was it about my profile that made you pick up the phone and call? Find out what it was on your profile, because then you know what to focus your conversation on. All right, so here's my profile. I put my phone number and my email address in my banner. Have a creative banner on there, okay? That boring, generic LinkedIn banner, boring. Okay, come up with something with whatever it is you do. Just look at other people, you'll find things. A great way to create a banner is I have a word cloud this is a word cloud from my resume. I've got my book on there because I'm proud of the book I wrote, and my phone number, my email address. This way, anybody who looks at my profile can reach out to me at any time. I do not get a lot of spam phone calls. I do not get a lot of spam emails. I'll just tell you that right now, it has not been a problem for me. Now, I know women, sometimes the phone calls and stuff, you don't want to put your personal phone number on there. Get a Google Voice number. Google Voice numbers are free. And all it does is it then rolls over to your cell phone or your home phone, wherever you want it to go to. That way you're not giving out your personal phone number. Create an email address just for your job search. Okay, you don't give out your personal email address. Get one for your job search. Now, to create a banner, there's a great program out there. It's totally free. You do need to register, but it's totally free. It's called Canva, canva.com. And all you do is you in the little search box, say, I want to type a LinkedIn banner. Boom, it'll come up with the right size. Then you can type in, once that screen comes up, you can go and you can type in, I'm in the pharmaceutical business, or I'm in the electronics business, and see what kind of images pop up. Find a nice little image that sort of tells people what it is you do and where you are. I'm not a big fan of cityscapes. A lot of people like to put the city, sort of a picture of the city and stuff. To me, that's not as interesting. But, all the stuff on Canva is free use. You use the free stuff. There is a paid version that gets you some more options. But quite frankly, the free version is all I've ever used, and what most people I know, that's the only thing they've ever used. But it's a great way to tell a story. Tell me a story about what it is you do. It makes it more inviting. Okay, your about section. I said you've got your summary statement, your about section. This is the largest space on LinkedIn. You have 2,600 characters that you can use. You don't have to use them all, but I recommend you use some. Number one, it is written in first person. My name is, I am a, I offer experience. I have extensive experience identifying, whatever, okay? Next thing is keep the paragraphs to no more than 3 lines. People are not going to read a block of text, okay? So, just 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, that's the way to do it. In my case here, I've added my strength finders. You'll see right before that big thick paragraph, my strength finders top 5: strategic, maximizer, analytical, responsibility, and deliberative. I've actually used those in my sentences. So if you see, I offer experience as a strategic leader, strategic being my number one, I maximize by transforming something. So you help use strength finders if you haven't taken it to help you write who you are and what you can do to help people. I need to hire somebody who can solve a problem. Show me right here what kind of problems you've solved. All right, third thing is add your contact information. I talked about that before. Everybody can see your about statement. Not everybody will see your contact information if you're not a first degree connection. And then add keywords. Nobody's going to read this block of text down here at the bottom. The only reason I do it is I do it so that if somebody types a keyword search and types in forklift training, or types in Six Sigma green belt, or purchasing, those things will highlight. Now, all these keywords are also in my work experience 1 or 2 more times, because it's important that you have keywords in your profile 3 to 5 times. So you put them up here, you can put them down low. It's just another place to put this important information that will help get you found. All right, keywords, very, very important in your about section and your experience section, okay? LinkedIn last year, this was in beginning of January or February, the top 10 skills that employers wants to see on your resume. And they mentioned it, here we go. Here are the top 10 industry-specific tools: data analytics, creativity, communication, collaboration, digital literacy, self-motivation, time management, adaptability, problem solving. That self-motivation, time management, that's a real biggie if you're working remote, okay? So those are some top 10s. You can put in there top 10 search terms, on LinkedIn. I'm sure 2024 it may not be out yet, but I'm sure it'll be out in the next month or two, and update those skills there. Your skills and endorsement section, next section down. Number 1, maximum of 50 skills is allowed, recommending 45. I recommend 45 to 50. All right. A maximum of 2 or 3 skills will be showcased on your profile as you scroll down. Nobody's going to click see more skills. So the other, 48, 47 of them that are there, nobody opens that up, but that's there for the search engine to find you. Now, a really great way that LinkedIn changed it about 6 months ago is they added, for every job, you can list skills that apply to that particular job. Here's a great way to get your skills listed in multiple spaces. Make sure your skills are both technical and managerial. You should alphabetize them if by some chance somebody goes and looks at things. An alphabetized list is much easier than not. But like I said, most people are not going to be doing anything. They're never going to open that field up. But you do want to make sure the most important 2 or 3 skills are the 2 or 3 that show up on your basic profile when people are just scanning down your profile. LinkedIn will categorize the skills into sections, and they cannot be moved. And you want to have 2 or 3, I think you want at least 3 now, current recommendations. Current recommendations, 2021, 2022, 2023. All right. If you have a recommendation from 2017, 2014, hide it. It's not worth seeing anymore because it doesn't mean anything. Now, somebody gave me the tip and I haven't proven, I don't know if this is proven right. You can reach back out to those people and go, hey, you wrote this for me back then. Do you mind adding a little space? Because that'll update the date and make the recommendation current. People also ask me about skills, about being endorsed, the endorsement for skills. That to me is a total waste of time because people endorse me all the time. Well, they don't recently, but I mean, they have in the past endorsed me for stuff. They never worked for me. How do you know that I have this skill? How do you know that my financial background, what I can do financially, So I'm not into the endorsement part at all. I think that's a waste, but listing the skills is very, very important. There used to be something called the skill assessment test. As I mentioned before, you used to be able to take this test and they had technical business design things. Well, that's gone. LinkedIn got rid of that. I think the 1st of November, maybe the 1st of somewhere in October. Yeah, I think it was November. They got rid of it because it just wasn't doing anything for them. It wasn't worth applying. So you maybe used to have a little paper clipboard next to your name if you'd taken a test. I think all those are gone now. So the skill assessments, no more. Here are a couple settings on LinkedIn that everybody needs to check out. Have you seen, you go view somebody's profile, it says people also viewed. Why do you want to promote 10 other people who are just like you? You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you turn that off, okay? So viewers in privacy settings, viewer of this profile also viewed, just flip it to off. By default, it's on, but you want to turn that off. Recruiters love it because they'll go and go, oh, well, John Smith wasn't, oh, well, look at these other people who are just like John. Let me go look at their profiles. And they'll zip right into somebody else. The second thing you want to do is under privacy settings, share job changes, educational changes, work anniversaries from profile. Turn that off. When you're modifying your profile, if you have that turned on, every time you make a change, every one of your first degree connections will get a notification that, John's just made a change to his profile. Congratulate John on his new job. Congratulate John on his new education. You don't want to do that. So make sure that's turned off so you don't do that. Now, if you do post a current job, which is, as I mentioned, the job that you have being unemployed, you list a couple job titles and the name of the company, you list your phone number and email address, and then you list 3 or 4 bullet points of things that you've done, accomplishments that you can help somebody with. When you get that ready to go, I would turn that on and then publish it because that way all your first degree connections will see what it is you're doing. Always send a personal note on LinkedIn. I can't tell you how many times, and I hope nobody on the call today has tried to send me a personal note. But if you did, I probably won't connect with you if you didn't send a personal note. The generic invitation, I don't like it because I don't know why we should connect. Tell me you saw me here today on LinkedIn Tuesdays. That would be great. Tell me you don't like my blue background. I wish it was a different color. Just tell me something so I know how we connected, when we connected it, timestamp it so that in 6 months or a year from now, you reach out to me and go, Jeff, I see you've got a contact at AT&T. His name is John. Can you connect me to that person? I'll be able to go and say, oh yeah, well, here's when we had a discussion or here's when we connected. At least I know when we first met each other, okay? So even on a cell phone, you can send a personal note. Now, there's white connect buttons and there's blue connect buttons. On a cell phone, on a tablet, if you're using the mobile devices, if you click on the blue connect button, it sends the generic invitation. I wish it wouldn't do that. I wish it'd be a white connect button. But what you can do is if you click on more or over at the very, very side, it may be 3 dots now because they keep changing how the application works. You should be able to get to personalize an invitation. Send a personal, even on your mobile phone. Personally, I don't use the mobile app. I use the web app on my phone just to view people, but if I want to connect with somebody, I'll take a screenshot. And then when I get home, I'll go so I can send them a note using my desktop computer. It's much better. On a laptop or a PC, if you see a white connect button, you do not want to click on it. A white connect button will send the generic invitation. Click on the person's face. When you click on their face, then you'll see a blue connect button. A blue connect button will always allow you to send a personal note. Now, if it says follow right there instead of connect, just click on more and you'll be able to get to the connect feature right down there. It just depends on what mode they've got their LinkedIn profile set up. Okay, everybody, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jeff Morris, put your name in. I, Jeff Morris, promise to always send a personal note whenever I send a LinkedIn request to connect with anyone. This includes when I use my cell phone or my computer. All right, so white connect button's bad, blue connect buttons are good. Send that personal note. We'd really, really appreciate it because most of us want to know how we connect, why we're connecting with somebody. Just don't sit there and go connect, 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 connect. Now, this came up a good thing. We were at a meeting the other day and somebody said, well, you know, you can use that mobile app where you can go and Bluetooth and you can just connect with everybody else who's in the room. That's fine. But then what I recommend you do is when you get home, sit down, you'll see your most recent connections and go send those people a message. Hey, it was nice to connect with you and meet you at the XYZ meeting. That way you'll have a reference on when you met that person in the future. So go back and do that. And that way you'll be able to do that if you don't send those personal notes. Okay, every day you need to develop a daily routine. 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. Now, if you're doing a lot of research, okay, it may last a little bit longer, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to last too much longer than that. But you want to go through and clear the red. Start from left to right. Click on the home page. When you click on home, the red dot will go away. You'll see the most current things that are there. Go through, read some of them, like them, share them, comment on them if you find something. Just spend a couple minutes doing that. If anybody has sent you network connections, go ahead and click on that and clear that out on a daily basis. Connect with them, not connect with them, ignore them, whatever it is you want to do. Messages, people have sent you messages, answer your messages, show that you're active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's keeping track of that. If you're being active on LinkedIn, you're going to come up higher in the results than those people who don't. And then if you've got any notifications, go through. I go through once or twice a day and I delete all my notifications. I read them. If there's anything I want to see, I'll delete them or read them because sometimes work anniversaries come up with people I know in the past and I want to say, hey, congratulations on work anniversary, or congratulations on getting a new job, or congratulations on your birthday, whatever it is. That's a great way it'll show up there. Go through and collect those and just scan through and see those. Every day, as I mentioned before, when you're looking at people, when you're going down your news feed, you want to like, comment, or share on something 3 to 5 times a day. That shows them you're active, okay? You can like something, that gives you a little bit of points, like 1 point. If you comment on something, that'll give you 2 points. And if you share something, that may give you 3 points. I mean, I'm just arbitrarily picking on how much it is. But if you share a post, you can only share a post on the newsfeed, and it'll share to your people. And that's very powerful. That helps the person who posted it, and it helps you. I post on Sundays and Mondays, or Mondays and usually Mondays, I post a couple things. If you take what I have and just share it with your network, that would be great, telling them what programs we're putting on every day, or share my career tip of the week that I share every Sunday or Monday. When you do that, it gets me more exposure. It gets you more exposure by doing it. If you comment, LinkedIn now requires that you have 12 words or more. To get full credit for a comment, you've got to have 12 words. You can't say, great article, or love the post. Tell people why it is you like the post. Curate 1 or 2 articles a week. Post an article. Not on Mondays, not on Fridays, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Find a decent article. Go to feedly.com. It's a free source you can go to get news feeds, or if you happen to see something on CNN or wherever, whatever you're searching on the internet, and it's something that's business related, something that's job search related, something about what it is you do, post it and tell people, hey, I found this article. This is really great. It explains why this. I 100% agree with what the author's talking about. You can talk about it out there. And then also follow company pages. Any company that you're applying to, be sure to click on follow that company. Boolean searches, how to find key contacts and prospects. So this is really important. If you need to take a shot, you can take a screenshot of this, or take a shot with your camera. But Boolean searches are so effective. What this allows you to do is add multiple search terms into a search field. Now, this works on LinkedIn, works on Chrome, Firefox, Bing. It works any place there's a search box, you can do this. The key ones are and, or, not, all capitalized, or in parentheses. Okay, so as you see here in the search box, I'm looking for a recruiter and technology. So a technology recruiter, but not, then oil and gas is in quotes, because I don't want anything that has oil and gas spelled out that way. Now, I'll tell you how I use this. I speak at a conference a couple times a year, and people will come up to me, they'll give me their name, and I'm trying to help them with their LinkedIn profile. I can't find them. They don't pop up on the first screen of names that pop up. So, I'll have their name, and I'll put in a capital AND, and I say, well, tell me your name of your company. They'll tell me the name of the company, and boom, they pop right up. So this is a great way if you're looking for a recruiter and, AT&T, boom, you're going to get AT&T recruiters, whatever it is. It's a great way to modify what it is you do. If you know somebody who's in job search, somebody who's newly unemployed, somebody who's been employed for a while, tell them about Career DFW and Career USA. They're 2 totally free websites. Right on the very front page, both websites were rebuilt in the last couple of months. The search feature works great on it. All the good meaty files and details that I have are all on the careerusa.org website. The Career DFW website is primarily for those here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But you'll be able to find some calendars with some other events that are happening. Both right there on the screen, very front, it says Career USA Training, Career DFW Training. You can click on those and you'll be able to find all the training sessions that we're doing 4 days a week. If your company or your group, your networking group is looking for a speaker, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you and do a presentation. I've got 4 or 5 presentations that I can talk about. If you want to connect with me, you're welcome to do so. This is my LinkedIn profile. I've mentioned it before. You can see what's on there. Feel free, reach out, and I'll be glad to connect with you to be able to do that. All right, we already did the LinkedIn promise, so I can skip that. We talked about white and blue connect buttons. Career DFW, Career USA, we're putting on training 4 days a week. I tell you what, before I do that, let me stop sharing here. Anybody have any questions, any LinkedIn questions you've got? Unmute your mic and ask away.
I have a question.
Yes, David.
Okay, so in the skills section, I've noticed that LinkedIn adds things to the skills section underneath the title of the skill, like where you exercise or something like that, and it keeps you from showing enough of your skills.
Well, to me, nobody is going to be scrolling down your profile to look at David's skills. They're going to do a search and you're going to pop up, and you're going to pop up because maybe I typed in, I'm looking for a creative director and X, and that skill being an X that you have, then you may pop up. I'm not going to go down in the skills category. The whole skills category is strictly there for search engine optimization.
Okay, all right.
To be found. Okay. I also recommend everybody here, we talked about, I don't have a current job. What do you need to do? Kim Jones is on the call with us today. I don't know if he's put his information, his LinkedIn profile, his address in there, but look at Kim's. I love what Kim's done. I show his profile all the time at meetings. because he's not working, he's looking for a job, but he's created a current position which tells people who he is, what he can do, and how he can help you, and that he's looking for a job. So check it out. I think it's really, really a great thing. Any other questions from anybody?
Yeah, I got the question relating to, you covered it earlier, but it relates to the actual, what do you put when you're unemployed? So,
Right.
can we just go over that again so I can
Okay, all right,
understand it?
hold on here. I tell you what, let me call up LinkedIn. We will go we'll look at Kim's, give me a second here. Kim, I hope you don't mind me. Like I said, I use your profile all the time here. All right, let me share a screen. Here we go.
Not at all. It boosts my numbers.
All right, so here's Kim's. Let me move this out of the way so I can see what's going on here. So here's Kim's profile. One of the things I really, really like about Kim's profile, I don't know if you've ever noticed this little speaker thing here. Let me click on it and let you hear what he has to say.
I'm Kim Jones, an accomplished B2B marketing leader in cloud communications technologies.
Okay, so this was designed by LinkedIn so that if you had a hard to pronounce name, you could put your pronunciation, if I can speak right, you can put your pronunciation of your name in there so people understand how to talk to you. Kim Jones, pretty easy to say those names, but he's taken it a step further by saying who he is, which is really, really great. Okay, so let's go down to his current job here. Here's his current job, consultant, product marketing, business development. For his title, for his company, this is what he listed. Okay, he listed his phone number and his email address. Coming down here, so he's talking about what it is he does, and he's listed some of his skills. And he's putting on here that he's free. Now, you're not telling me that you used to put on here that you're open to new opportunities or how can I help your company? You can sort of take this and flush this out even more if you wanted to add that, make this a little bit more of, hey, I'm looking for a job. So, take this. I just think this is a great start as far as what it is to do. And by putting your title by your phone number and your email address here in the title, when you go back up here, what it does is it shows that information right up here for a company title. So it's right up there instead of, if you see my profile, mine just says career DFW. So it's a great way to do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, what else can we answer for somebody? Anybody else?
Jeff, if you don't mind, how reliable or helpful do you think the AI tools for LinkedIn Premium are for job seekers? I, did another 30-day sort of re-up recently and updated my profile with those tools, but I don't know really to what great effect it had, honestly.
Well, you'll know by if you go look at the number of views on your profile. I mean, that's how you find out if you're keeping track on a weekly basis on, here's how many views I had last week, here's how many views I had the week before. If the AI tools increase the amount of people that are viewing your profile, then it helped. I'll show you this other little tool. Let me go back and show you something here. Here's a great little tool that I didn't show you all here, but you can. So if you click on your profile and you click on more, you can build a resume. This is really a cool little feature. Click on build a resume and we're going to create it from profile. And I have to put a job title in. So I'm going to say, as titles come up, I'm going to pick a job title that's on here. So I'll pick senior production manager. Okay. Then I'm going to click apply. I don't care what it says over here on the left-hand side, but over here on the right-hand side, this is really, really cool. This is what the things that found on your resume that are good or found on your profile. But here are some suggested keywords that I include if it's relevant. continuous improvement. Yes, that's all I do, you know, doing things better, faster, smarter. I don't really do any product development, manufacturing, process improvement. Yes, I need to add those 2 keywords into my resume or into my LinkedIn profile in a couple different places. So here's a free little tool that anybody can use to help increase what it is you're doing. And you can do it as often as you want, okay?
Where is it
Not-
saved to?
Huh?
Where is it saved to?
Well, you can either download it as a PDF or it goes, let's see here, it says it's been saved. So if you click up here on resumes, it'll say right here, currently edited. So here's the last few that I've shown in the past.
Mm,
Here's the most current one. I'm not using it though. I would never send this out. I'm just using the tool to tell me what other keywords do I need to add? And I get those keywords in, I may run this thing again to go and say, all right, is there anything else that I'm missing? So here is, now it says down here, unlock 9 more keywords with premium. But you know, I'm not, so those, if you have premium, you're going to get more keywords to add. But I just think that, I don't know, this is a great little free tool that everybody can use.
Jeff, I have a response on the AI for.
Yes.
So what I found that it did was it blows up your word count and it makes it way more wordy. So I'm trying to get down below 2 pages right now, and that made it impossible. I'm not using the AI right now because just as I stated, it kind of blows up the word count. And I think my grasp of the English language is reasonable enough to be able to get some good cohesive statements in there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I mean, I think everybody wants to use AI, everybody wants to do AI for something. I'm not sure that everybody's trying to build it into their program. Zoom's trying to build AI into their program. I mean, everybody's trying to, it's the hot term for everybody to talk about. And I know it's CES is going on right now in Las Vegas, the Consumer Electronics section. And, you know, AI is all over the place out there. Everybody's trying to, how
Well,
they can implement it.
It's the new greenwashing, right? I mean, it's the next generation.
Right. But, you know, I think you can get by, you know, without it. It's not, you know, I don't think you need to pay for it. I don't pay for my LinkedIn profile, never have.
If I can add an observation about something I've just seen during the job application process on LinkedIn, if you click on a job that's posted, I noticed that a couple of buttons come up below the title, and it starts by saying, am I a good fit for this job? How can I best position myself for this job? And I was working on an application yesterday, and I started clicking through those, and every time you click one of those buttons, you get a response, which is actually pretty useful because it scours the job description, scours the company website, and then it gives 3 more questions, and it really draws you in. You just can't stop clicking. You know, how can I best prepare for this interview? How can I best answer these kind of questions? And I found that very invaluable. And I must say, I guess that's part of the premium package, right? So I can't say it's landed me a job yet, but it's certainly helping.
Jim, thank you for that. Anybody else?
And Jeff, this is Dawn.
Hey, Don.
Hi, question. Where on LinkedIn would it show, or where could I find a previous resume that's been uploaded to your LinkedIn profile, or is it not there?
You know, my point of view is you don't upload your resume to LinkedIn. Now, if you're saying applying it for because there is no reason to show, there's no reason for you to post your resume on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Your profile is your resume, is your almost master resume, because you're going to talk about everything. When you post a resume, you're posting something that's just a generic document that may or may not meet somebody else's needs. It's not search, it's not a searchable document. If somebody would look at your profile and then they would see something, they would do it. If you want to post something on LinkedIn, I would post a 1-page bio. I think the 1-page bio is an extremely effective sales and marketing and networking tool that tells people who you are, what you do, and how you can help. And you're not going, help me, help me, help me, I'm looking for a job, which is what a resume does. A
Okay.
resume needs to be a customized document that you send in that's customized to the job description.
Okay.
I think it depends on Easy Apply normally asks you for a resume, and if you attach one, it uploads. But they're really easy to get rid of. You just click on the jobs briefcase, and then go down to application settings on the left, and then you'll see all the resumes that have attached to
Okay.
Easy Apply, and you can flush them out.
Okay. Thank you,
So
Mark, for
Jeff,
that.
I don't post resumes to LinkedIn, but if it asks me for it on a application, I include it and get rid of it.
Okay. I don't know if I have one posted from a long time ago. That's what I forgot where I would, if I had posted it.
Okay,
I
well,
was
you'll
looking for
find
a
it in
place to
there.
go find it, if it's out there.
Yeah, you'll see it if it's there. Application settings.
Okay. Thank you both. Appreciate
Mark,
it.
thank you very much.
As a follow-on to that, I don't use it myself, but the Easy Apply allows you to select whichever one of several resumes you have uploaded there or created on LinkedIn. And if someone knows more about it than me, then please chime in. But so you can have a library, if you will, of customized resumes even there that you can use for the Easy Apply process.
Yeah, but also recruiters can actually see the ones that are up there. There's a notice in there that says recruiters can view skills and experiences from your saved resumes.
Interesting.
So they'll see your other resumes, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, we're top of the hour here. Let me share a couple more things. We'll get out of here. As I was mentioning before I rudely interrupted myself. Career DFW, Career USA, we're putting on training 4 days a week. Please join us. Tomorrow, if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the practice interview team is meeting in person. They are now meeting in person on the first, second, and third Wednesdays of the month. On the fourth and fifth Wednesdays, we will be online. So anybody outside the DFW area, you'll be able to come. You'll be able to watch us on Zoom and everything. And all those emails will be, they'll be on the website, and we'll make sure in the announcement what's going on. So if you'd like to come watch, I know we have one candidate tomorrow to watch for a practice interview. This Thursday, being the second Thursday of the month, we're going to talk all about networking. Locke Alderson will be with us to talk about networking to network. Your network is very valuable, and how do you reach out to people and how do you contact? So join us for that. And then this Friday morning at the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, Lorraine Friedman, who's a certified professional executive coach, will be with us to talk about how to stay positive during your job search. It's hard to keep up. What are you going to do? So how can you stay positive in 2024 as you're going through your job search? If you'd like to join the Career DFW or Career USA LinkedIn groups, you're welcome to join one or both. You do not need to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to join the DFW group. I just started each one when we started the websites. The Career DFW group's got over 15,000 members. And I will tell you this, that probably 1 out of 15 of those people work in HR, they work in HR, or they're in human resources, okay? And they're joining this group because they're trying to find you and not pay for the full-blown recruiting package on LinkedIn. This session has been recorded. It will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel. On the Career USA YouTube channel, we've got over 580 videos up there right now. Just click on whatever one of the 7 playlists, click on playlist where that green arrow is, and then pick the playlist that you want to see, in this case, LinkedIn, and you click on View Full Playlist. Up will come a list of all the different dates, speakers, and their topic that they talked about that you can go back and watch at your convenience. This presentation will be up on LinkedIn. It'll take a couple hours for it to get up there, so by 5 o'clock or so, it should be up there if you want to watch it or send it to somebody else. If you're not receiving emails about our workshop, please join the Career USA mailing list. You can just scan this QR code or just send a blank email to Career USA, the +sign subscribe at groups.io. You'll never be spammed, but what you will get is the topic of the day, the title of the day, and most importantly, the Zoom link of the day. That way you'll know what's going on. You'll never be spammed. I control the list. It's one email a day and that's it. So please remember, Career DFW, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have no full or part-time employees. Everything I've done over the last 15 years has just been to help you land your next great opportunity. So thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. Have a great Tuesday, and we hope to see you Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday this week.
Thank you.